I just got out of my NPR interview. I'm going to be on Weekend Edition on Sunday. They asked me to come down to the Culver City flagship station and do the interview today, and they are going to cut it together and air it on Sunday morning. So, in my mind, I thought that for some reason, and I don't know why, but I just totally made this up in my mind, because I know that the host, Lulu, is actually in DC. And for some reason, I thought that there was going to be like a screen that I could like see her face, and that it would be kind of this warm conversation, because the producer had told me that that Lulu had gone on a retreat herself, and I was excited to like ask her questions about her retreat. So these are all the fantasies that are going on in my mind, right? And I'm noticing that they were there, and I'm trying not to get attached to them, but still there was a part of me that was like, had expectations. So the interview was supposed to start at 11:30. I got there at like 11:28. Go in, and there's a microphone, bam, right there. Put the headphones on, and then I hear this guy being like, "Hi, I'm your engineer. Say Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers." I was like, "Okay, I'm going to say that," and I said that. And then all of a sudden Lulu comes on, and she's like, "All right, we're going to start." I was like, oh, okay. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, I'm in this chair, and I'm like all stiff, and I'm like making sure that I'm 4 inches away from the microphone. And I'm noticing that I'm feeling like really nervous and not relaxed at all. Like I thought that I was going to be, in my fantasy of what this experience is going to be like. And I'm sweating. You can't really see it. It's kind of gross, I know, but it's like really wet right here, and I don't normally sweat. Anyway, I was sweating and I was nervous, and she's like, "Okay, so," and she said some sort of intro, and I don't even remember what she said, because I wasn't really present, because I was so like nervous. And then she asked me like, "What is a silent meditation retreat?" And now I know that is a totally like normal question to ask, but for some reason I didn't really know how to answer it. So this is kind of how it started. I was like, well, it's where you go away and you meditate in silence. And then it was like really awkward. And I was just like, in my mind, I'm going, oh my God, thank God this isn't live. So I'm having this conversation in my mind while I'm having this conversation with her. I'm all stiff. At some point I noticed, I was like, oh, maybe I can sit back in the chair and like actually try to relax a little bit and slouch a little bit, which is my preferred posture. But it's just, I have bad posture. If I slouch a little bit, maybe I'll feel a little bit better. And honestly, like I did. I actually felt a little bit more relaxed, and I could tell that I started opening up a little bit. And so I was starting to feel a little bit better. And then I noticed some questions that I didn't feel great about talking about. So then at that point I was noticing, wow, my control freak is like really totally unwilling to go with the flow here. And so, and then all of a sudden 20 minutes was up. And then as soon as she was like, okay, that's the interview, she was like, hey, okay, so, I went on a meditation retreat too. And, I didn't want to talk about it because I didn't want you to ask me how it was for me. And I was like, okay. But I wanted to, I wanted to find out what her experience was. So anyway, then I came into the car and I proceeded to cry, because in my crazy mind was like, it sucked. It was horrible. You ruined it. These were all of the things that were just like barreling through my head. And I just said to myself, okay, I just need to cry. And I cried for quite a while. And then I went to a park and I walked to the top of the mountain, and I noticed that I was ruminating. And I came back down at the bottom, and then I saw spray painted graffiti on the sidewalk that said, "Love yourself." And I said, yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. Now I'm going to go treat myself to go see Wonder Woman, because it's important that I see Wonder Woman, because she's a badass woman, and we need badass women in the world, and I plan on, stepping into my badassery. Thanks, everybody. Bye.